Good morning. Well, this is hilarious. So I am in North Norfolk here, and I'm in my little kitchen here, which is very different. So I'm going to stand back. And I wanted to come to you because I spontaneously came away this weekend, and I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to prepare anything, but you've got me in Norfolk. Norfolk, I don't wear makeup. Yesterday I was in a stream, clearing it, pulling things out, and then I was sitting on a bank clearing weeds around a new hedge, and I just generally completely chill out and just calm down, and that is where I'm feeling today, so very zen. So what am I going to bring to you? Well, I thought it would be fun to bring to you tips from being away on holiday and how to keep on track and the things that I do. And I was going, yesterday I had a lovely trip to our amazing local smokehouse, Thai smokehouse. If anyone knows North Norfolk and Thai smokehouse, sorry, forgive me going off camera, not intentional. And I'm just trying to think what I actually bought here. I know, here we go, this is what I wanted. So I've got some smoked mackerel. Now, I love smoked salmon, I love smoked all sorts of things, and it is just really lovely to be able to go get just a little bit of the really fresh, delicious, well, obviously not totally fresh because it's smoked, but you know what I mean, hot smoked mackerel, because this is one of the oily fish that is going to really be great for our bodies, our brains, our inflammation, and all sorts of things. So it's just really good to have something like this just in the fridge that will sit there quietly for a few days without going off. A bit longer actually. Smoked fish is amazing, and it's here so that I've always got the right thing to eat. And on the paleo keto trajectory, I'm going to call it, you know, it is difficult. It was really difficult in a social setting when you're away on holiday to keep on track, unless you've got a few tools up your stick. Now, my husband adores sourdough bread, and so there's always lots of bread around. My family, I love bakeries and patisserie and sausage rolls, unless I make them myself, that's a no-no. You know, there are so many things. Obviously, alcohol comes out, it's always a bit of fun, you know, delicious wine, beer, all those things, and it's like, and if I just kind of relax and go into all of those things, it's really challenging. And one of the first things that sort of pushes me off the pedestal is sitting down, lovely cup of coffee and relaxing, and it's really nice. But I do know that coffee weakens my defences against other things. So, I mean, I love it. Coffee, the right kind of coffee, organic coffee, is delicious, and it's got fibre in it. Can you believe that? I think that's one of the funniest facts, that coffee's got fibre in it when it's a liquid. Hi, Lucy, I've just seen you come up. Hi, welcome to my North Kitchen. But it's just about getting the right things. Now, I came up for 4 days, and I actually extended for the weekend because I just needed a bit more downtime, and I could, because this holiday cottage is a letting cottage, and it's usually really busy. And but it has been so lovely to have this extra time. Anyway, so here I am, and I'm going to prepare for you some just really simple smoked mackerel pate that is something that you could do. Now, I think the key thing is just, you know, if you're by the sea, go and get the fish into the fridge so you've got it there. And then I'm going to make this little pate, and then I've got it, because you might well go for a lovely beach picnic today, which I really want to do, because going out and just sitting, I've really tuned in that actually nature is so calming. I mean, I know we kind of know all these things, but actually it's until you sit and do it and sit and look at the amazing environment around you that you kind of really realise this amazing calming effect. And it's all to do with the shapes and the colours and everything. And so I find, well, this view out here, I'm not sure that I can really even show it to you because it doesn't show the whole view, but anyway, you can see a bit of a field down there. Actually, you can kind of see a bit of a field, and down the end of the field there's a lovely stream. Just thinking about that stream makes me calm, and running water, and at the end, up, which we can't see from here, there's just a church that sits between two trees, and we get to watch the sunset, the sunrise and sunset coming down, and these are things that are really calming for me, and that I absolutely love. And I've grown up with this since I was 4, so I'm extremely lucky. Now look, let's get back to the reality. Paleo keto. So really lovely to welcome PC. Now, forgive me because I'd have to check back on my laptop, but we've had a couple of people joining, well, no, 3 people joining in last week. So if it's the first time joining me, welcome. So my name is Bea, you probably realise that, and I specialise in paleo keto cooking for health and life. And I particularly want to pass on just top little tips on these little Saturday sessions that you can build into your life that keep you on the straight and narrow. Now, I did my newsletter yesterday and I sent it out, but I think it's got blocked with various people and I've got to check the system. So if you didn't get it, but it was quite funny because I titled it, Bee's Got Her Mojo Back. And that's because I have been a bit awry over the last few months because back at the end of last year, I did a wonderful, really good month. I found it really powerful and I was checking my blood glucose levels and my keto levels regularly through the day. I was doing the Minty Pelts 30-day reset and it was absolutely fantastic, and I can't tell you the energy I had after doing that and keeping absolutely on the straight and narrow was phenomenal, really phenomenal. I mean, I turned a manic new kitchen garden, new allotment into clarity and organisation, but it was in the most terrible state and I just had this energy to do it. When I used to go on my Friday bike rides, everyone's going, Bea, what the hell are you doing? I mean, what aren't you doing? Or what's going on? You are on fire. And it was, the changes were dramatic. And, you know, with life, you know, things slip, you're on a great trajectory and that keeps you going for a while, and particularly I think if you've got ADHD involved, this is something that actually is quite difficult to keep maintained. So I sort of gone on a surge and gone back, and in the new year I bought myself a keto breath meter, which I used for a while, but my husband was using it and his reading kept on being the same and not great, but he's a super fit cyclist. And, you know, eating some carbs is not a problem for him. But it wasn't giving me accurate enough readings, and I wanted to then match it to the blood glucose and keto monitor that I had, which requires, you know, strips and whatever. But it's quite an expensive affair, and I always have ringing in my head Dr. Myhill saying, oh, I don't like that, I don't like pricking my finger with blood, and it's expensive, and you just need to blow into a meter. But if you haven't got confidence with the meter, and it's not that I don't have confidence in the meter, actually I need, for me, the more accurate, precise reading because it lets me cheat otherwise. And you know, it's funny how the brain works. And then what happened was my breath meter disappeared and I spent 2 months finding it. And do you know what? I found it when I was packing to come to Norfolk because I put it in the car and it had slid under the seat. But in the meantime, I looked up buying more strips from the company, and they have to come from America now, and it was just getting ridiculous with the shipping, 16 quid on shipping. I'm like, I'm not doing that, it's ridiculous. But the wonderful thing is that this amazing woman who I've talked a lot about, Dr. Minty Pelts, she speaks so highly of this thing called a keto mojo. And the great news is, because she is doing such phenomenal work, this keto mojo has now come to the UK and it's available on Amazon. And yes, it is a hit. The starter kit is 60 quid. And then the strips, again, they carry on more expensive. But if you take it for a snapshot of your time and your life to get yourself grounded again, and then you could also match it to a breath meter, and so you know what your breath meter is doing, then you can just, you know, go down the cheaper route. So what I'm saying is that I got my mojo back because I've got keto mojo back in my kitchen so that I can do these accurate readings. And so of course the first one I did wasn't entirely exactly what it should be. So I should be back on track next week. And it is such a brilliant tool for knowing where you're at and knowing on your track. And now there's also a wonderful app called the Carb Manager, which is really, really helpful. But again, it's time and dedication in your day. So I think it's steps as to what works for you. Anyway, look, let's get back to the smoked mackerel. So normally, the oldest fashioned recipe that I had smoked mackerel, which was one from my mother's when she did cookery classes, which makes me laugh now because they were when she did them with adult education, which is hopefully what I'm going to be going back into a little bit in the autumn. And it was, you know, 8 ounces of smoked mackerel, 4 ounces of butter, and 4 ounces of cream cheese. And it was like, then, you know, we've been through this phase when we've been teaching the fat is bad for us. And of course, you know, it was a guilty pleasure at Christmas. It was the most delicious recipe. And now I'm coming back and it's like, no, stick that fat in. And I always remember, if you know some people called the Hensley sisters, they did an amazing sardine butter, so oily fish, with just butter and lemon juice and chives and things. And it was divine. And of course, it's the oily fish going in and the butter, well, the right kind of grass-fed butter is good for you, but of course you feel full, so you don't need that much of it. Anyway, what I realised today is that I don't have cream cheese, and I don't have a vegan cream cheese because I try and keep low dairy. But what I have got from the most amazing farm garden shop, gorgeous deli up the road, my brain, and you can tell me that I need to go and see Dr. Sarah Michael next week because my brain's not functioning well enough. My recall. Back to the garden. There we go. Not that bad. I had some goat's butter, and so this is what we're going to use. We're going to make a kind of smoked mackerel and goat's butter pate, and I've had this out overnight, so I'm just kind of mashing a nice wad. So if you think whatever the weight of, actually that's possibly a bit generous. Whatever the weight of the mackerel you've got, half that for the butter. And I'm just going to start mashing that together with a fork. Now, you know me, I love my food processor. Absolutely love my food processor. But, and I have got one up here. I'm just going to use my fingers to pull it apart a bit. And I could get it out, but, that's slightly cheating because you might not have one. And we are on holiday, so and my husband's upstairs waiting for a cup of tea in bed, which is not, he hasn't got it yet, because I came downstairs this morning. I've been awake for hours, just lying there, sort of thinking about things. And when I came down to make a cup of tea, I looked at the clock and went, oh, okay, better get it sorted a bit. And then the tea didn't get made, and then I realised the last bits of washing up from our delicious supper last night hadn't been done. So I thought I'd better just get things done in the right order. Right, here we go. So this is all coming together now. And, the butter needs to be at room temperature. Now, how are you on microwaves? So the official line in microwaves, from a naturopathic perspective, is that they really are not at all good for you. The next thing to say is that if you use a microwave, you should be standing 3 metres out of it. Now, I'm in a holiday property. It's actually a big kitchen, but it's a small kitchen comparatively to home. But I think maybe there's a microwave over there. I think probably generously it's 2 metres away from me. So, it's something to think about. We all need to think about these little things that are going to make a difference to our long-term health. And I just want to just keep mentioning little things. And so a microwave would be something that I would have used to soften my butter if I needed to. But I just try and just think ahead a little bit. And what I would do now is that actually I would put my bowl in the warm bowl of washing up liquid, washing up water, to just heat the bottom of the bowl, and that will help melt the butter down, and that works brilliantly. So look, I'm nearly there actually, nearly there. So what I can do now, is having got that mushed together, is get some lemon juice in, and oh, that's a giant lemon. I'm not going to need all of that. Some lemon juice in. This is such a simple recipe, and the key thing here is that I can have this on toast, or I can just spoon it into my mouth. I can have it with chunks of cucumber, which I absolutely love. Actually, that is a really good thing to have with this pate. I haven't got any black pepper. Where's my black pepper? There's my black pepper. No need to worry about salt, because the lemon juice and the smoked fish are perfectly salty enough. And I haven't been out in the garden to pick my chives, but look, they're there. I can put them in later on. Let's just chat about this goat's butter thing going on here, actually, because I am not great with dairy, but it just, I'll be running to the loo if you give me too much dairy. That's simple how that's how it affects me, and it's not fun. So, cows produce cow's milk to make big cows. So there's a lot of growth hormone in it. But if we just downscale that to sheep or goats, much more aligned to us in terms of size, and also they don't have that 5-tiered stomach system that cows do for chewing grass and so on. So it's a very simple explanation, but you're likely to find, if you're intolerant to cow's milk or cow's products, that actually you can tolerate the goats and the sheep. So that's why this goat's butter is so brilliant. And actually my lovely friend Jane had it in her fridge the other day. one more thing, just hadn't really dealt with it, even though I've known about it. I tend to go down the sort of feta route with sheep's cheese. But of course, it's absolutely brilliant. And you don't taste the goat in it. So I think this is going to be lovely. Now I'm going to taste this and we'll see what we think. Buttery. Do you know, I can put a little bit more butter in this actually. That last lump. Lemony and delicious. So all it does actually need is a few herbs from the garden. And actually I've got that parsley that I trimmed. So I think I'll chop that up and get that in there. Up to the black pepper. Oh my goodness. Right, so here I am. I am sorted with my picnic food today. Now the other thing is, just to note, I set myself up for success when I come on holiday. So here we go. I brought with me my Tupperware, which has got my Dr. Michael. I like this one. That's what she got. It's a nut and seed loaf with lots of linseeds and all sorts of things. So I bring this with me sliced and keeps it in the fridge, and I can just toast it. So that is breakfast or brunch, which is really, really helpful. And the other thing I brought with me is my some paleo granola, which again is really useful. Again, it's there just if I wanted to. Again, I don't often feel hungry at breakfast these days. It's more brunch, and that is the joy of the paleo keto diet. You just don't need to eat so much, and you're not hungry in the morning. And the brilliance of that is that actually you are giving your wonderful gut a rest, which is much easier to do. Now, gut issues are rife and difficult, and one of the most important things is to be able to give your gut a rest. In an ideal world, 5 hours between meals. In an ideal world, at least 13 hours overnight, and strict, intermittent fasting, we've heard about it, stretches for longer. So that is a really great reason for going. Now next weekend I'm going to round off here because it's Saturday morning for you guys and I need to take my cup of tea. But I want to round off with two things. Next Saturday I am going to be in deepest Wales with Dr. Sarah Myhill. I'm going to be there from Thursday evening until Sunday, and we're going to have the most amazing weekend. I'm going to be refreshing all my kind of knowledge, and I'm going to be demonstrating to her clients. Now there is no Wi-Fi at Upper Weston where she lives. It's an amazing farm, fresh running water coming down. She's got this outdoor beautiful cold water swimming pool. She's got an outdoor hot tub, log-fired hot tub and a log-fired sauna, and I'm sure we're going to be in all of those things and just calming down and learning and refreshing and having fun, and I will come back so zingy. So I will likely do a video that I will then pop up, so there's something to say hi on Saturday morning, but don't expect me live. And the last thing, I haven't checked my news this morning, but I have been deeply affected by the news about Dr. Michael Mosley, who's disappeared in Greece. And, I've mentioned intermittent fasting. He is the most jovial man, and has been doing so much for us and our health and our eating. So all prayers and love to his wife and family and all the people that, all of us, all fingers crossed. As I haven't looked at the news this morning to see if there is any news, but I just wanted to say that because it's not often that I get struck by some news, and that really has affected me this week. So look, you guys, over and out. I'm going to go back to Norfolk. We're about the beach. I've got my smoked mackerel. I shall take my husband a cup of tea, and I will really look forward to bringing you some huge excitement from Dr. Myhill next weekend. And don't forget, put the date in your diary. Thursday the 10th of October is my live when she comes to my kitchen, which is the most amazing thing, and you can join me live, some VIP places, but also if you can't, you can join on Zoom. So over and out. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed this little snippet. Go and get your mackerel. Bye.